Inaccuracy. Here, you feller. I think it's freelance as well. Oh my god. What is going on, my friends? Welcome to today's video. Now, my friends, there's something you need to know, and that is that the like button is looking at you right now and it's saying, yo, you were supposed to smash me 7 seconds ago. What is going on? Bribe is waiting as well. I mean, what are you waiting for, my friends? So listen, Bastion is the focus of this. Saint's Fist, charged to fire 3 spreads of kinetic slugs. It also is very, very good against unstoppable champions, but we're talking about PvP here. And you're probably thinking, Bastion, isn't this thing terrible now? Yeah, Bastion got nerfed like a year ago. And the big change they made to Bastion is before you only needed 1 of the 3 slugs to hit someone to kill. They changed it so that you needed 2, and they got a little bit less damage, a little bit less range. I did some testing and this thing still kills within 16 meters. It has a 0.78 charge time, so same as precision rifles. Precision rifles, precision fusion rifles, because we all know precision fusion rifles don't require precision. Hey, got them. But basically what has happened? Slug shotguns have been nerfed. All fusion rifles have been nerfed. Shotguns have been buried into the ground with the aerial effectiveness changes. But guess which weapon isn't affected by aerial effectiveness? The Bastion. Which weapon has perfect uniform pellet spread on all 3 of the rounds that it fires? The Bastion. What is the key word here, my friends? Consistency. Consistency, that's right. Every now and then this happens in this game, guys. Something is really good, it gets nerfed, everyone forgets about it. But then everything that was better than Bastion after it got nerfed has also been nerfed. So slug shotguns have been nerfed. Probably the biggest competitor would be slug shotguns. Fusion rifles are down. Everything's feeling less consistent now in the game. Even fusion rifles are a bit funky right now. You need to land all of your bolts. You need to make sure you're aiming at real low center mass to get the most out of your fusion rifle. Bastion, none of that. Charge this thing up and point it at someone, and 2 of those bursts hit someone and they are done. And they are done at like 16 meters. Look at this pellet spread. Uniform. Consistency is the key here. Seriously, Destiny players, we do this a lot. Something gets nerfed and we forget about it forever and ever. But this is one weapon that I think is going to come back into your memories. The PTSD is on its way. Because Bastion, after everything else has been knocked down, Bastion is ready to rise up. Where everything else feels super wonky and inconsistent, the Bastion is still operating the same. It doesn't seem to be affected by the flinch changes. It doesn't seem to be affected by the aerial changes, because you can use Bastion in the air very effectively, man. It is super consistent. It's more consistent than any other shotgun. Put people down trying to rush you with regular shotties with absolute ease. On top of that, it's one of the only special weapons in the game that can consistently one-hit kill supers. You hit all 3 bursts of this thing, you can take out pretty much any roaming super. It's also very good against stuff like Well of Radiance, Titan Barricades, for example. So think of the 3 zone, the capture zone mode. In Trials, it's very strong there. It's extremely strong in quick play. The range is very good. 15-16 meters, consistent one-hit kill. In this current sandbox where everything's so janky, this weapon is just very reliable. And being reliable is a very good thing to have in this sandbox, especially when it comes to special weapons. Everyone is kind of uncertain at the moment. Everything's whiffing. Everything's a little bit weird. But hey, listen, man, this weapon is not deemed oppressive by Bungie, at least not for now. Maybe we'll get another look at it, or maybe they'll leave it. But it definitely feels like a weapon that they sort of just forgot to touch. With all of these changes to fusions and shotties and everything, the one-hit kill distance on this weapon doesn't seem to be much different. Maybe a little bit less than it was before, or it's absolutely identical at 15-16 meters. Now listen, Chaperone used to kind of live in that range, but it doesn't anymore. Chaperone's effective range is like 11.5 meters now, and I think with Roadborne you can go up to 13 meters. So Chappy with Roadborne can definitely hang with Bastion. But again, this thing is just consistent. It doesn't require anything. It doesn't require any building into it. It doesn't require using this exotic or having this much aerial stat. Literally point it at people, charge it up, bing bang boom, and you will get the job done. I'm talking pros, we can talk cons here for a second, and I think the biggest con to this weapon is the charge time. It has a 0.78 second charge time, and it's pretty slow. It's the same as a precision frame fusion rifle, and precision frames can go all the way up to 18-19 meters in the current sandbox. Bastion can barely manage 15-16 meters. So DFP, why are you chatting shit as usual? Why are you clickbaiting me? Grr, it's not as good as main ingredient. I genuinely believe that it is as good as the main ingredient, because like I mentioned earlier, you don't need to factor in as many things with the Bastion like you do with the main ingredient. With the main ingredient, you're probably crouching in a corner, sweat dripping off your sweaty forehead. You're pre-charging that thing and you're waiting and you're praying for someone to come into your lair. I feel like even though Bastion has the same charge time, it's a far more aggressive weapon than a main ingredient or just a regular fusion rifle. The reason for that is you don't need all of your bolts to hit. You literally just need 2 of the 3 bursts to land on someone and they are dead. It hits like a truck. You also don't need to aim at people's feet like you would with a regular fusion rifle. You are far less likely to get flinched off your shot as you are with a regular fusion rifle. And obviously, you know, now stability matters when it comes to flinch. Again, this weapon does not give a toss about that. If you look at its stats, none of it makes any sense. All of it, like this weapon's base stats, might as well not exist, because they don't really seem to have any influence on how the weapon performs. It has really low stats across the board, and yeah, it hits hard, it's got range, and it's extremely stable and consistent. So yeah, some things just don't make a lot of sense. Like I said, Bastion is just one of those guns, man. It got nerfed and everyone forgot about it. But then all the things that outclassed it, like rapid fire fusions, like slug shotguns, they have also been nerfed too. And you could say they've been nerfed worse than this. Now, there's currently one weapon I would say that completely shuts this gun down as far as other specials go, and that would be a mouse and keyboard Lord of Wolves user. Now, I say mouse and keyboard specifically because when it comes to Lord of Wolves, you should really think of Lord of Wolves the same way you think of something like the Last Word on controller or the DMT on mouse and keyboard before it got nerfed. It just performs flat out better on one input device over the other. So if you're playing on console, you don't need to factor that in at all. I think the only thing you really have to worry about on console is maybe high impact fusions. They can go into the 20-meter range, and obviously your main ingredients can still outrange you, but you can be way more aggressive than them. And obviously you've got perfect inner accuracy as well with this weapon. I'm not exaggerating. If you're in the air, this thing will hit, man. It will hit. Regular fusion rifles are better in the air right now than, say, a shotgun, but can a regular fusion rifle do this? Nice well of radiance. So you're sacrificing, nice Nova Bomb by the way. You're sacrificing what, 2 meters of range for far more lethality and consistency. So I really don't see how main ingredient is better than this. I genuinely, unironically was using this in trials and doing very well with it in there. Like I said, the only trouble I had was against some Lord of Wolves mouse and keyboard sweat lord. And there aren't too many of those players out there, thankfully. So I think Bastion is very good. Hopefully you guys agree, but if you disagree, that's fine. Just let me know in the comment section. Don't be a fool though, or I will pin you. Anyway guys, I'm off to go and stream live on Twitch, twitch.tv/shake. Come over to the stream, I'd love to see you there. Peace out, much love.